I made up my mind at a Disney taping that it was time to move on from Jesse.
Was this the taping where he fell asleep?
This was a taping where we had an entire production crew that I was paying for, a fair amount of money for, a sound stage that I was paying for, an entire roster of talent that we had flown in, a production facility, the sound stage that I was paying for by the hour, and we were ready to shoot a show. We had a tight schedule. They had loaded audience in. All of these things are happening, and we're ready to shoot a show, and we can't find our color guy. So we literally had to shut down the show and go looking for him. And when I found him, was in an adjacent soundstage that was not in use, in a green room that wasn't in use, and he was curled up in a fetal position taking a nap. And he looked like he had a rough couple 3 days. And Jesse wasn't a drinker or a partier, and I don't mean to imply that, but he just looked beat to death. And it's a work ethic thing for me. If you're paying, and he was making a lot of money, and it's disrespectful. Forget about me. He could disrespect me all he wanted to. But when you put everybody else that was standing there waiting and jeopardizing their jobs and making them feel like they weren't important and making people sit in a crowd that came in, and I couldn't take it. So I made the decision.
Do you confront him there while he's asleep?
No, I didn't even care. No, I got him out to do the show, but I made up my mind at that point.
Right.
That's it. I'm done.
What's the discussion like? Is there a protest from him, or is he done at that point?
I honestly don't remember, because I probably handed it off to attorneys at that point.
It wouldn't have had anything to do with the arrival of Hogan, who there was
there was resentment on Jesse's part, not on Hulk's part.
No, on Jesse's. I mean,
Jesse chewed my ear off, and that was in that. Thank you for bringing that up, because the falling asleep or taking a nap on the company's dime while we were looking for him, that was kind of the last straw. There was a whole lot of pissing and moaning and bitching, and Hulk did this and stabbed me in the back, and I wanted to unionize, and Hulk went to Vince, and blah, 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 blah. And whether it's true or isn't true, it had nothing to do with me. No. It wasn't my life. It wasn't my company. There was nothing I could do to change anything that happened in the past. I was just concerned about where we went with the future. We made a commitment to Hulk. Ted Turner made a commitment to Hulk Hogan, like a big one, $2 million worth of one. And it wasn't Jesse's place to undermine that decision. Jesse's job, like all of our jobs, were to do our best to make it work, not to pick it apart and try to undermine it. So it culminated with a nap.